Hi everyone, Byron here, the founder of Writer Access. Happy to be with you here today to talk with you a little bit about some of our challenges with onboarding writers. And let's face it, we need to crank out a lot of content these days to engage our readers and customers and keep them coming back for more. But onboarding freelance writers can really be challenging, and we're going to talk about that today. For starters, I mentioned I'm the founder of Writer Access and Content Marketing Conference, hence the CMC. And we're going to dive in today with an agenda that looks something like this. We're going to talk about the challenges of onboarding writers and quickly go into some new methodology and some updated methodology on how this all works to make that process better. And we're going to go look at some really neat technology. And if you're still with me in the end, I'm going to give you a special offer to get all of this together and make this come together with some technology and some methodology that you're going to see today. I think you'll be really excited about this. So for starters, I think there are 4 big challenges that we all have with content and onboarding freelance writers. More specifically, I think that there is a lot of challenges we have with documenting what writers are supposed to be doing and really trying to articulate, if you will. How do you explain to a writer exactly what kind of content you need? It's a real big challenge. The other thing that's a challenge is actually learning what our customers want and need. How do we do that? How do we understand what their needs are, and how do we then help writers be more empathetic to what those needs are? That's the challenge. I think articulating all of this is the other big challenge. How do we explain to a writer all of this, all that we've learned, and how content can be improved with revisions? We tend to take a revision requests are difficult, they're challenging. We will read content, we'll probably just want to rewrite the content that a writer's doing rather than informing them what's wrong with it and giving them good feedback. And finally, how do we showcase this tone and style? How do we even find the right tone and style? And how do we document that? How do we provide samples? How do we learn what's engaging and what is most effective and interesting to our customers? And do we give that feedback and show examples to writers? Those are the challenges. So let's just go quickly now into some methodology that I think is critical for us all to learn to make this process better and so we can produce better content and educate and acclimate all of our writers. The first thing I want to talk about is customer journey maps. A customer journey map essentially documents what a customer is thinking and feeling throughout various stages of the journey. And it also, of course, helps your team members walk in the shoes of your customers. It's a critical document that, of course, helps writers understand what the goals are for particular writing assignments. So journey maps typically have 8 stages, and they can have 6 or 4. What's very interesting is that 44% of customers are investing in the early stages of the journey maps, not the tail end of the journey map, yet it's 5 times more expensive to attract customers in the early stage as it is to retain them. It's fascinating to me that people are investing more in lead generation than they are in retention, yet it's much more expensive to do that. But let's take a look at an actual one of the documentations looks like in a customer journey map. Here you see a writer access example that gives you a pretty good understanding of what we try to do when we develop a documentation for the discovery stage. We're making the case, if you will, and documenting what our customers are thinking and feeling at this stage. They're craving information. They want to learn how to outsource content. They're exploring the options. And what we do is we actually try to get exact quotes from our sales reps and our customer success reps of what they're experiencing when they're interacting with customers. This helps a writer tremendously understand, be more empathetic to what the pain points are. The next thing we can look at is assessing how much content we are offering this customer at this stage of their journey, and actually grading that stage of the journey and informing a writer with the different type of assets that we're creating so they can better understand our goals for content. The other thing we're doing, which not a lot of people do when they create customer journey maps, is we think this is a good opportunity to basically prepare an editorial calendar where we're actually giving ideas to writers on potential topics and showcasing exactly what other writers might be writing about to get everybody on the same page so we can be very specific with our team members. The next thing I want to talk about is personas. Personas are, of course, been around for forever, but without a deep understanding of our customers, marketing fails. Buyer personas help give writers insights, if you will, and I'm going to give you a couple tips to start out. In my opinion, when you are developing buyer personas, you should ask one question. Take me back to the day that you made the decision to hire, to use Writer Access. What were you thinking at that time? Now, if you, of course, want to let your customer talk and develop lots of follow-up questions and be more conversive to learn more, but there are a couple things that I think are key. I don't think you need to talk with too many customers to develop personas. I think, you know, eight or 10 is probably a perfectly sound number to find some patterns and characteristics and develop these typical personas. But you want to be sure to talk with new customers and develop your personas maybe even 1 or 2 times a year because the landscape is always changing. And you want to talk with newer customers because the competitive landscape may change. There may be other things happening out there. So that becomes critical for success. Let's take a look at what a buyer persona looks like. So here's Michael. I love the model of documenting, you know, his particular situation, what complexities he has, his pain points that we've learned along the way in hiring freelance writers, his relationship with his boss or other decision makers, maybe he's the decision maker, and then of course what solution and why he chose us versus the competition. The other thing you look at with personas is his overall story, and looking at, notice how quickly a writer can sort of scan the green highlights here in just a few seconds and learn Michael's story. Next, we can look at the all-important behavior and influences, his values, his engagement style, his external influences, and notice these can be on a checkbox approach where we're just highlighting different elements quickly and efficiently. Next, let's take a look at, next takes a look at his purchasing blueprint, and this becomes exciting to just quickly see from our sales department how much he's spending, from our marketing department what he's interacting with, and what publishing channels this content's going to be published in. Now, all of our team members are participating in the development of a persona, and everyone's getting an understanding of who our target audience is. And I believe that you can also develop creative briefs for particular personas. My favorite example is ADD Andy versus Sophisticated Sally. You know, we would have a different type of content created for those 2 different personas. You can understand, I'm sure, why. The next thing I want to look at real quick is keyword maps. Keyword maps are difficult to produce, but do require a little bit of research and knowledge with software tools like SpyFu. But here's an example where but I think they're necessary to learn what people are searching for, so you can be found in the search engines. So here's an example where we went in and did some research of, found 20,000 keywords using some really cool research tools that I'll show you in a few minutes, and then we removed the duplicates, and after we removed the duplicates, we were left with a keyword universe of a couple thousand keywords. We then broke these keywords out into various stages. You can have groups of primary or low-hanging fruit, which means they're in positions 11 through 50, or secondary keywords that are not as important. You can develop groups here on keyword silos, and that becomes simple and easy. And you can, of course, produce keyword reports and organize all your keywords. But now let me sort of show you real quick how this all comes together. This is the most important aspect of making this all easy. So inside of Writer Access, we've got some really cool tools. Let's first go down here to your journey mapper. And here you see a really fast and easy way to create journey maps. Here's one that's actually been created. We've created some boxes and holes to help you quickly develop these with your team and to document essentially every stage of the journey that you so choose to create. And I'm going to just show you how that gets added to your orders in a few minutes, but next let's look at personas. Same with persona. We were talking about Michael a little bit earlier, and here you can document his situation, his complexity. Everything is on here in a checkbox or paragraph format to quickly acclimate writers and get the information over to your writers so they can produce better content. Here's a creative brief that's customized for this particular persona. So now let me show you really quickly how when you place an order at Writer Access, you can include these elements. Let me show you keywords really quickly here first. We also have a keyword tool in your tools that allows you to quickly see, you can add keywords. You can use our keyword suggestion tool and type in any domain name, your competitors or even your domain, and grab any of the keywords and copy them right in so you can build a keyword universe quickly and efficiently. But now let's go take a look at placing orders at Writer Access. So I'm going to place a writing order, and notice the domain name, my keywords have been loaded in. So when I scroll down, you can see you can place orders quickly and easily and add elements to it and determine when you want it. You can add creative briefs, but you can also go in, here's your keywords, which you could grab and copy over to an order that you're placing. What you can also do is to add some special instructions in here, like buyer personas and customer journey maps. I'll check those too, and then I'll go down a little bit below here, which I'll do real quick. And here we go. Kaboom. There we go. And now boom, here's your personas are showing up. There's Michael, and I could select my customer journey maps. I could pull up a select journey map, and maybe I'm creating content for the first couple of stages, or better yet, based upon my own tips and advice, let's go let's create some content for the post-sale, which a writer can then see. They'll see just those sections of the customer journey map will pop up for explanation, and just Michael's for instructions and requirements, and just Michael's persona will pop up. So now we've educated and acclimated our writer on a much more detailed information. We wouldn't produce a general creative brief for all of the content we're creating. We're doing creative briefs for particular personas. So that's how that all works. Now let me show you a couple cool things with how we track some of the success at Writer Access. So here's a quick, we have some really cool reports that will show us how much content we've created in WordPress, Facebook, and Twitter through an API that pulls in that data directly from your channels. And we can also see some really great information and actually pull up any of those. If I wanted to look at this blog post that we published, we could quickly look at it and browse it. If I wanted to look at any of the other data related to analytics, like how many keywords we're using in our posts or what the data was published, we can do keyword filtering or set up the display to show different assets, time on page, page views. You can get all kinds of really rich data here, which help you learn what content is performing the best. Let's go look at how we're performing in the search engines and with traffic on our website. So here we see it looks like our traffic has come down a little bit in the last period of time, and our listing positions might be slipping a little bit. So we can dive deeper and learn our keyword performance and where we're getting top listings in the search engines, and where we're getting poor listings. We also created an algorithm that scores each keyword and helps us identify the keywords that we should be creating content for. If we're, like, here is a position 37 at Google, it's got a lot of search volume to it, so our technology is saying, hey, we should go create some content around writing articles for blank. So it's giving us some nice recommendations using some technology. We can also use the analytics reports to give us a summary, which we can email to our clients or to our team members. And that's another great feature over here at Writer Access. And we've also got a fantastic growth hub where you can go in and take the content strategy masterclass. You can also go in and look at all of our content marketing conference videos. We have over 45 videos from 2017, and we're loading up more videos from 2018. So there's tons of information. There's plans back here. There's podcasts. There's proposals if you're an agency. There's templates that you can use, including the examples that I've shown to you today. There's videos that you can access of our platform. Just incredible information in here. So overall, just wanted to show all of this to you. Let me go back to my deck here. So we took a quick look today at writer access and customer journey maps, buyer personas and how easy they're to create, keyword maps as well, and performance reports. And I have a special 30-day trial offer for you for $1, which expires in 7 days. You can go to writeraccess.com/Byron trial, and you'll get lots of the benefits that all of our members have at Writer Access. And really appreciate you listening in, everyone. I think you'll be excited to sort of put some of these new techniques and methods and technology to work to help you grow your business organically the content marketing way. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Appreciate your time.